to our YouTube channel. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any update. My name is Jemima Basi. With me here today, I have the co-founder of Amani Health, in person of Mrs. Ayodele Fasoyi, who will be sharing practical tips and strategies on how to handle and navigate grief and loss. Whether you're facing it yourself or supporting someone you care about, we're here to offer guidance and hope. It's good to have you once again, Ma.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Okay, Ma. So today's topic is kind of really, I think it's something really deep because, grief and loss is something everyone goes through it differently. Everyone processes
True.
grief and loss differently.
True.
So I have a few questions I would like you to probably throw some light and give us strategies that can help me or anyone out there to cope better.
Mm.
So how long do you think someone can cope with grief?
Mm. How long do you think someone? So how long? Okay, I'm guessing you're saying how long
Can
it
someone grieve
takes.
for? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So before we get to how long it takes to how long someone can grieve for, let's define what loss or grief is really. So loss is simply, in simple terms, when you lose something valuable to you. When you lose something that you really, really love, that is loss. Like I lost my, just like a child would say, I lost my pencil, I lost my bag, I lost my. So, in simple terms, let's just say loss is something, is when you lose something you have come to love, something very valuable to you, something you love deeply, really. And grief is the emotion that you feel after a loss. So grief is the emotion, while loss is the, let's say, the action now, or
The
the,
incident.
yeah, the incident. So yeah, so, now you said the how long it takes.
How long can someone grieve? How long
So
can you just keep on going?
interesting. There's no how long a person can grieve for. I don't think there's because people grieve differently, and we have different emotional resilience. We have different levels of emotional resilience. Some people are, okay, for lack of a better word, stronger emotionally than some other people. So, what would take a person like 1 year to get over may take another like 6 months or 3 months to get over, depending on the situation, depending on the person's emotional well-being, the person's emotional resilience, depending on so many factors, really. So you can't say that, oh, it will take so and so time, for you to get over this loss, or for you to for take this long for you to grieve for. No, but typically they say, or it is said that between 6 years, I said 6 years, pardon me, 6 months and above. So some 6 months, some 1 year, some forever, really. Like I said earlier, depending on so many factors. Depending on so many factors. So people grieve differently. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ma. So my second question would be: can someone fully move on from the loss of a loved one?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm laughing. um, and okay, so we would like to say that May is Mental
Mental health
Health
awareness
Awareness
month.
Month, and so this is why we are doing this, so that we can bring awareness to these issues and help people get help or get the support that they need. If there's anyone out there going through any of these issues, you can get help, really. And that is one of the reasons why we are doing this. So back to your question, you said, sorry, I forgot
Can
to
someone fully
move
from the loss
on
of a loved one?
from the loss of a loved one. Okay, so I won't say you can move on from the loss of a loved one. So, sorry, before I get to that again, I would like to say there are different kinds of losses. So, it can be, loss can come in different ways, different forms, and it can affect people differently. So, it can be the loss of a job opportunity, it's a loss. It can be the loss of a spouse. It can be the loss of a parent. It can be the loss of a pet. It can be the loss of something that you used to love. Maybe you moved from one location or migration issues, and then you move from one place to another, and you're missing or grieving your old place or your old status. It could be anything. And just like we adults grieve and we experience loss, the same thing happens to children. So I hear a lot of people say children don't experience these feelings. What do they know? What is not? But children actually do experience exactly the feelings that we adults to experience. So children also go through grief, and it may be the grief of their beloved teddy. Maybe something happened to it. It may be the loss of a pet that they have grown to love. It may be changing locations. So we also have, as adults, we also have a responsibility to help them process this grief, because most times, especially when it happens to the whole family, when I mean the whole family, when that thing or that loss affects every member of the family, we are most times we are so concentrated on ourselves, the thing, because we are also trying to process what has happened, process the loss, and then we sometimes forget that we also need to help them through that process. And if not done, it can actually cause trauma. They may blame themselves for the loss. Okay, maybe it's because I didn't do this, I didn't do this. That's why my mommy left us without saying, and maybe the person's mom died, or maybe because I wasn't a good child, that's why God took my mom. So we have to help them also process it. If not, and when they think like that, and it gets stuck in their brain without anybody saying, no, it's not your fault, no, this and this and this is what happened. It can cause, of course, trauma, and then they grow up like that, and it exhibits in different ways. So yes, as much as we are processing our own grief and loss, we should also not forget the younger ones, especially the children, our children too. So back to your question again. That sorry, forgot.
Can someone fully move on from the
Can
loss of a
someone
loved
okay?
one?
So back to your question. Can someone fully move on from the loss of a loved one? So like I said, there are different kinds of losses: loss of a child, loss of loss of a parent, loss of a spouse. So is it possible to move on? When you say move on, like forget that this
This
thing
just happened.
happened.
Exactly, exactly.
So I would say no. I would say you learn to move forward
Hmm.
with or without, or with the memories of that person, without the physical presence of the person, or that thing, or that whatever it is that the person has lost. But you move forward with the memories that you have, because thankfully we always have these memories, whether it's our pets, whether it's our spouses, our children, an opportunity that you really, really wanted and didn't get it. Whatever it is, there's always we always have these memories that we can carry forward, and also um, that would so I would say moving forward with the memories of with the good memories now, because of course there may be some bad memories. You don't want to move on with that, or move forward with that. So moving forward with those beautiful memories that you have made, and then just learning to live without the physical presence of that person or that thing, really. So I would not say move on, but you learn to move forward with the memories, and then um, without the physical presence of that thing.
Okay, so my next question is, can you share any personal experiences of how you cope with grief and loss?
Interesting. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because this is actually a very serious topic. But well, I think laughing is my own way of dealing with my own emotions right now. So it's okay to laugh. my own experience about loss would be when I lost my mom. I lost my mom in May. Interestingly, today is her birthday. She's May 2nd. So today is supposed to be her birthday. So we lost or she passed May 13th, 2018. So you see that May is a very good month. Yes, it's a very good month. May is the month that I get to be very intentional, that I try to be very intentional my about being joyful, really. I intentionally try to practice being joyful, being grateful, because it helps me through the roller coaster of emotions. It's a birthday in May. It's my dad's birthday in May. My sister's birthday is in May. uh okay, she passed in May, and then her burial is also in May. So
And her birthday is also in
so
May.
it's a roller coaster things. But so sharing my own personal experience, um I don't know, I don't think I've shared this before, on camera like this, maybe while talking to a friend or two. She passed in on May 13th, 2018, after, no, I won't say a brief illness, after a prolonged illness. So she had been ill for a while. She had diabetes, and she had diabetes for a very long time, and she had been managing it for over 20 years, and she had been managing it, managing it well without any issues. And then that year she stopped she stopped taking her drugs. She well, I guess she just got tired of it, and we didn't know about it. She just stopped taking her drugs, and then it started taking a toll on her. And everybody had moved out of the house, just her and my dad. Everybody was out. I was married at the time. I was about no, I had my second baby. She was with me at that time. I had my second baby in April 5th, 2018. So she was already with me, but she was not feeling well. But she still came like, "Ah, I can't leave you alone, mother things now." So she was still with me. So I was trying to take care of the baby and trying to take care of her too, as much as I could. My sisters would also come around once in a while to help. Um, yeah, so she had been ill for a very long time, then decided to take a toll on her health. And we just realized that she was there. We had to take her to emergency for, a few times that year before it finally got to, she was just not herself. And then because so there was a few things I blamed myself for, and those are one of the stages of grief. It includes number anger, anger. You're asking yourself questions. You're angry at the situation. You're angry at God. You're angry at everybody. Guilt, depression. It goes like that, and does not mean that it's going to go, those stages will go in alignment like that. It can just be that, okay, the first stage a person would experience is depression, or the first stage a person would experience is shock, or the first stage another person would experience is guilt. So it's different for different people, but there are different stages to grief before finally, if you get help, you get to move forward. I'm gonna move forward. So she had been staying with me, and then we just realized that she was getting weaker and weaker, and I was also going through my own issues at the time. I had a baby. I just had a baby, and I was okay, so how will I put it? Okay, so I just had a baby, and it was through cesarean section, and the site was not healing up as fast as it was supposed to. So I was dealing with that, and then also and then I had a toddler who was about 1 year plus at the time, and then now having to also, I don't think I had help at that time. Then now also having to
Take care of your
care
mom.
for her. So it was really very hard at that time, very challenging, but it was something that we had to do. But I guess I didn't see, or we didn't see the extent to which she needed that medical help on time. So that was one of the things that, guilt, like I said, that I blamed myself for. We didn't, that I felt that we didn't see it enough. And my mom was not somebody to, she was the strongest person I know. That's just, she's still the strongest woman I know. Because, so I think that belief, that feeling of my mom would always overcome anything, because she had overcome a lot of things at that time, like a lot of challenges. So in my mind, I'm just like, mommy would get over this. Is it not mommy? Like, is it not she would get over this? So we didn't really realize the extent to which she needed help, even though, she was staying with me. So I blamed myself for that. That okay, maybe if we had taken action earlier, if we had done this, if we had done that, maybe we would have been able to salvage the situation and all that. And then how she what fastened the the process was, um, one of those days we are taken out to emergency in one of the general hospitals, and the doctor the doctor on duty had checked her and then given her a set of drugs. They tested her, of course, and gave her a set of drugs. And the mistake that we made was that we did not check those drugs. Like, now, if any doctor gives me any drug, I will first of all go to Google and check what the drug is for, and check this one and this. I will ask the doctor, what and what is it for? This one, what is it for? This one, what is it for? This one. Then I will go to Google. Then I will seek another opinion, maybe another doctor. So we just assumed that okay, that was okay. Just got the drugs, and then she started using them. Unknown to us, assuming that you were giving, okay, you complain to a doctor that you have headache, and then the doctor gives you paracetamol and Panadol at the same time, to use at the same time. Mm. So that was exactly what happened. And because she had stopped using her drug for a while, it had affected her kidney. So that was one of the reasons why she was feeling weak and all that. And then apparently the drugs that we were given, two of the drugs were serving the same purpose. And even one of those drugs, you were supposed to use like half. We later found out that she was supposed to use like half, because of the effects it would have on her kidney, or the effect that drug is a very strong one, the effect it has on the kidney. So somebody whose kidney was already, not as it used to be, now having to use something four times stronger. So I think that fastened the the whole the whole scenario, and then the kidney just began to, let's say, pack up now, but it just began, our health just deteriorated. And how we found out was, okay, our my brother-in-law is a doctor, not practicing in Nigeria, and then we told him, this and this and this is what is going on with mommy. Okay, okay, what are the tests that she has done? What are the tests? What are the drugs that she's using? Then we told him, okay, these are the drugs that we were given the last time we went to the hospital. And he was like, oh my, that the next day we should go and do a kidney test, because those drugs were too strong for a kidney. And we went for a kidney test, and then we found out that, and so many other things, yeah. So at first I blamed the doctor, you know, because I didn't want to blame myself for, of course, I blamed myself for, not checking. And then I went to Google, checked, and saw that, okay, this and this serve the same purpose. And then I sure got to know the different things that. So I was like, okay, so if we had checked these drugs and not just believed the doctor that, okay, the doctor knew what he was doing, maybe, just maybe, we would have, been able to salvage this situation. So I went through a lot of I went through a lot of stages, a lot of guilt, number one. um at a point I was feeling like, mommy, you are here now, you cannot be sick. Me too, I'm not feeling fine. I need you at this time now, don't be sick now. So after she passed, I was like, oh wow, that was very selfish of me. Like, she was literally, passing on or passing away, and then I was still thinking of myself like, mommy, now you cannot be sick now. You know that me, I'm not feeling well. You too, you cannot be feeling well at the same time. Well, we need you now. So I felt very bad for a very long time. I felt really guilty. I felt I was selfish. Like, I felt I didn't see. If I had seen, what she really needed, maybe we could have done something. And those are one of the things that we tend to do when we experience this loss. Like, okay, maybe if I had done this, this wouldn't have happened. If I had done this couldn't have. Or if I have, so we ask different questions. We go through that process. Guilt. I was angry at myself. I was angry at her for not, maybe if she had spoken up, if she had said something about how she was really feeling, maybe we could have done something. Why did you have to always prove so strong? And that's one thing I learned from that experience, that don't be too strong for your health. Don't be too strong for yourself. And our mothers, we can't blame them. That's just how they are wired. That is what they knew. Be strong for your children, be strong for your family, be strong for everyone around you. And that was what they knew. But I learned that, okay, yes, I would be strong for my family. I need to be strong, but I also, when I need help, or I'm not feeling fine, or I'm not feeling well, I will speak up and ask for help. So yes, the experience was, so I went through a lot of roller coaster of emotions, and I think that was also what spiraled down to me eventually going through chronic stress, anxiety, depression, because I didn't get to deal with it at that time. I just had to, like you said, I had to move on. I had to move on quickly because I had a baby. I just had a 1 month old baby, a toddler who is like 1 year plus old. So I had to go back to work, to so many things at the same time. So there was really no time to process the whole thing. Just had to, day by day, day by day, day by day, take it one day at a time, one day at a time, and then you move on. But I would say that you don't get, like, you're going back to your first question. Do you ever get over? You can get healed, like, coming from a religious perspective now, coming from a Christian perspective, God can heal your heart. It can, especially if you run to Him and not away from Him. Because when these things happen, we tend to, oh God, why did you allow this to happen? Why did you allow this to happen to me? Without how I'm serving you, without my mom was one of the, I would say she's an angel. So you would think that, okay, this kind of thing should not happen to somebody like this. Like, she's just, okay, let me just not just, she was just like so many things to so many people, and not just us. So many people counted on her, relied on her as their friend. She was friends to her friends. She was mothers to them. She served as a mother to so many people. She can relate to the older generation, to the younger generation too, and she can give out her last penny. My mom was a giver. She was a giver, and she knew how to keep relationships. Like she so many people in the past that she had worked for that have worked for her. She know how to keep. I mean, I'm still learning that part, that relationship part. But she was really a great human. If I would say that. And losing her was, of course, very very traumatizing. And because I also didn't at that time, I didn't know what was mental health. So you had to speak up and get help. No, so I didn't really process it as I should. But looking back now, there were a few things maybe that I would have done better. Yeah, so that's it.
Thank you so much, Ma. So my next question is, what can we do to support someone who is grieving the loss of a loved one?
Oh wow. Hmm. That is an interesting question. So, and a very important one too. So in this part of the world, you see many people, when someone experiences loss of any kind, we are quick to say, "Oh, be strong, just be strong, just be strong for yourself, be strong for your family, be strong for your." Yes, it's okay to be strong, but at that time, I don't want to be strong. So don't tell me I can't. I don't even know how to be strong. So don't tell me to be strong. I don't want to be strong. So we should practical things that we can do to support people who are grieving or who have experienced loss and are still in the process of getting over it. Or yeah, um, listen as much as possible. Just be there for them if you can physically. If you can physically, just visit. If the person doesn't want to talk, just sit silently. If the person wants to talk, just listen. Don't say, just be strong, you are a man. Especially men. Oh God, you are a man, you are a man, be strong. But the person has just lost something very.
You're saying she
Yeah.
was strong.
So please let's avoid that be strong thing. Even though it's easier to, and especially if you've not experienced something like that, you may
You
be
need to
at a loss
understand,
for
yeah.
words. We don't know what to say, but let's avoid saying that be strong, be strong. You know, Instead, be there for the person. If you can't visit physically, please visit. Um, and what else can you do? Pray for them. They need it because at that time they need all the spiritual, emotional, support that they can get. So please pray for them. Other practical things that you can do, if it's something that you can, anything you can help with. Say maybe a lady just lost her spouse, she has children, whatever it is that you can do, maybe go visit, help take care of the children for, even if it's one day or just a few hours. Allow her sleep. Okay, you go sleep, let me watch over the children for a few minutes. Send a bowl of soup or a bowl of cooked jollof rice and chicken, even though she may not be able to eat it, or she may not, but it's something.
Something.
It's something. So let's find something practical that we can do in that situation. Depends on the particular situation. you know Send them messages often, pray for them. um Listen. If you just be there, call them often, and just check up on them. And if need be, if you see that this is something that they may not be able to process by themselves, please get them help, get them therapists, get them to see counselors, pay for counseling sessions, pay for therapy sessions for them. Those are practical ways that you can actually help someone, or you can support someone who's experiencing this or who's grieving.
Thank you so much, Ma. So my last
Thank
question
you.
is, can you recommend any resources that can help through grieving process?
Resources. Um, okay, so I would say things that you can do to help you through that grieving process. Or things, okay, let me start from myself. Things that I did and I am still doing, because it's a journey. So things that I did was, I had a playlist of songs. So so different things for different people. So I have realized that anytime I'm feeling down or I'm not emotionally optimal, you know, and I listen to some certain kind of music, I get better. So what happens is when I don't want to get better, I will not listen to the music. Self pity. Let me wallow in this thing for a while. I don't want help. But when I know that the better just help yourself, I put on my playlist and I sing. As I'm singing, I may be crying, but it gives me a sense of relief at least. And then one day at a time, really, just take it one. Don't try to plan 10 years ahead, 5 years ahead. You just lost someone very dear to you today. Just lost your maybe your spouse or something, and you're already just take it one step at a time. One step at a time. So that was what I did. Okay, tomorrow I'll be fine. Today, God just give me strength for the day. Just give me strength for today. And God actually answers our prayers. Sometimes you just ask God, I just need a hug today, and you just find that somehow somebody will just come and give you that thing that you need at that particular time. And like the Bible says, even though I pass through the valley of the shadow of death, for you are with me. So even though we are passing through these things, God is always with us. God is always there, you know. So if we have that at the back of our mind, it helps, And so music helps me. Um, what else? Music, um, affirmations. Yeah. So I have a list of like Bible verses and then affirmations that I have recorded that I can listen to, from time to time. God is a good God. No matter what happens, He's always there for me. Things like that. You know, those kind of things help me. So back to your questions, how to, sorry,
Any resources? What can you recommend?
resources. So back to your question, resources that I would recommend is as much as possible, seek help seek help from a professional, talk to somebody. It may not even be it may not even be like a therapist, or talk to a trusted friend. Don't seclude yourself. Don't withdraw from people, because it's at that time that you actually need a bit of, you need all the positive energy that you can get. So as much as possible, accept the help that people give you. Don't, okay, I want to come and visit. Sometimes you really want to be on your own, and it's fine. It's fine. But as much as possible, accept the help, especially if it's coming from a good place and it will help you. you know Accept it. Go for therapy if you must, or go for counseling. There are professionals that are, that are empathetic, that know how to guide you through this, so you don't have to. So something that would maybe have taken you 3 years to go through all by yourself, you may find out that, okay, with the help of this professional, with the help of this trusted person, or with this therapy or counseling sessions, I was actually able to become, more self-aware. I was able to go through this in less time, and I was able to continue my life and move forward. Not move on, move forward with this memory, with the memories that I have, and then continue to live life optimally. So seek help when you need to. Help is available, and there are books also. Books also help. There are so many people who have, books. Books is my own go-to. So books, yes, books really do help. I'm thinking of I don't know, should I say it now? I'm thinking of writing or just creating a like a grief, maybe grief relief kit, or something for your grieving art, something like that. Just a 7 day, 10 day, you know, day by day action that you can take to relieve or to just relieve that stress, because grief is a very it's one of the emotions that can that can affect your immune system. Like, it's one of the fastest way to depression. And if when you say that, okay, I'm not getting better, I'm in this deep sadness, deep place that I don't know how to get out of, then you know that you need help and you should get help. Yeah, because help is available. And when you say that, you have started thinking of self-harming yourself, thinking of suicide and all those kind of things. Oh, I wish I would just follow the person, then you should get help. You should get, because the person would not want you to follow them. The person would want you to live, continue to live, and enjoy life. So yes.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, ma. I mean, this is really insightful. I actually asked the
Okay.
first question because I actually thought that I lost my dad. It's like 11 years, and I still cry like a
Oh
baby. Especially when I
wow.
go on social media and I see something that
Oh
fathers are like,
wow.
"Hey, yeah, I wish my dad was there."
Oh
So I really
wow.
wanted to be sure that is it
Oh wow.
okay to still keep grieving like it's
Of
11 years and
course.
how long?
Of course.
Thank you so
Of
much,
course.
ma. This
Of
is
course.
really, really insightful. I don't know if you
Thank
have
you.
anything to say to anyone out there before we wrap up.
Okay, so in summary, I would want to address anybody out there going through any form of loss. It's and as long as we are humans, as long as we are in this human form, we would experience loss in one way or the other. It could be, like I said, the loss of somewhere you used to live in that you really loved, and then you had to move to, the loss of a job opportunity, the loss of a
Pets.
pet, the loss of gam maybe 419, or maybe, yeah, maybe 419, or financial fraud, something, you lost a lot of money. That is also is loss, and
Yes,
some
so
people actually
people are
commit
killing them. Yes,
suicide
exactly for that.
from that.
True.
Loss of a loved one. So as long as we are on this earth, as long as we still have this human flesh, we would experience loss in one way or the other. And then, so I would say that it is important that we fill our emotional tank. It is important that we build our emotional resilience, because these things will happen. And when they happen, what will they meet inside us? What would they meet? Is it, are you strong enough to withstand these changes? Because it is actually part of life. Are you standing enough to be able to not fall when these things come? So we should, as much as possible, take care of ourselves. Yeah, take care of ourselves, build positive relationships, because when these things happen, there should be people around you to support you. Life is not meant to be done alone. You should have people around you to support you. So build positive relationships, take care of yourself. Self-care is very, very important. Take care of your emotional well-being. It would affect every other area, to affect every other area of your life. And then we pray that anybody going through grief or loss at this particular period, that God would indeed heal your heart, heal your grieving heart, and give you joy. Even in the midst of all these things that you are going through, you will find peace. And you will feel that, yes, God actually still loves you.
Thank you so much for being a part of this. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you get
Mhm.
notified for any updates we have here. Till we come your way next time.